Okay, so these are some application problems from section 4.2, and this is number 7. So a concert promoter sells tickets and has a marginal profit function given below where P prime of X is in dollars per ticket. This means the rate of change of total profit with respect to the number of tickets sold, which is X, is P prime of X. And we've talked about from the very beginning that the rate of change is given by the first derivative. So hence P prime of X. One other thing I want to point out from that is that it's telling us that the number of tickets sold is X. We want to find the total profit from the sale of the first 320 tickets, disregarding any fixed costs. Okay, so basically we're going to use this formula, and we have to start at the beginning. So at the beginning, our ticket sales would be 0, because, and that makes sense because when you start any kind of concert, you do the concert preparation before a ticket is sold. So at that point, X will equal 0. So we'll plug it into our P prime of 0, substituting 0 for X. And what that does, y'all, is it makes it an ordered pair. So we have 0 for X, and we have a negative 1097 for Y, because we're doing this graphically, and I'll show you how that works in a minute. The second ordered pair that's going to be important to us occurs when our X is 320. Because we're wanting to know the profit after we've sold 320 tickets. So we're going to do the same thing, only this time we're substituting 320 for X, and that will give us a negative 457. And so that gives us the ordered pair of 320 for X and a negative 459 for Y. Now, we want to put this on a graph, and you'll see that our Y values are negative, so I'm going to draw the graph like this. This is our 0. And so the first one is when X is 0, our Y is way down here at negative 1097. And then if we go over on the X scale to 320, that ordered pair will be right here at negative 459. And if we draw, that should be straight, a rough graph, you'll hopefully, even with my little curve there, see that that area is the area of a trapezoid. You probably haven't used the area of a trapezoid for a while. So the area is equal to 0.5 times one base plus the other base times the height. So let's get in there and assign what our bases are. The bases of a trapezoid are parallel to each other. So from here to here is our what I'm going to call our lowercase b, and it's equal to negative 459. From here to here is our uppercase b, and it's equal to 1097. Now we want the height. The height is between the bases at a 90-degree angle. And I know what's confusing here is that height we all think is vertical. But in this case, our height is horizontal. So our height is 320. So let's plug that in. So what 0.5 times a negative 459 plus a negative 1097, and that's going to be times the height, which was 320. And when we do our calculations, we will get a negative 248,640. And so it seems like a lot, especially because it's a negative, but remember, you've got to do a whole lot to pay off what you put up before a concert. So a negative amount is okay. And so that is, in fact, your answer in dollars. After you have sold 320 tickets, your dollar amount is a negative 248,640. Now, this is from the same section. This is number 8, and we're talking about a coffee company. So the coffee company has found that marginal cost in dollars per pound of the coffee it roasts is represented by the function below, where X is the number of pounds of coffee roasted. Find the total cost of roasting 290 pounds of coffee, again, disregarding any fixed costs. So what the X is the number of pounds of coffee roasted, and we want to be looking at 290 pounds of coffee. So I think everybody will agree with me if I say our starting point would be 0 pounds sold. So that would mean that X would be 0, and we just plug it in. And that gives us 7.75. And since we're doing these graphically, I'm going to go ahead and write that the ordered pair is 0 for X and 7.75 for Y. Now, I think what messes people up on this problem is right here. They want to use that 500. We don't need to use that 500 because we want to know what's happening when X is 290. So we're going to again plug it in. And solve it. And when we do that, we get 3.4, which gives us the ordered pair of X is 290 and the Y is 3.4. So this time our Y values are positive, and this is 0. So when X is 0, we have Y up here at 7.75. And then if we come over on the X and we get to 290, we'll go up on the Y to 3.4. So again, if I'm trying, pretty good line there. If I'm trying to connect the dots, again, I have a trapezoid, which is the area that I'm trying to find. So let's define our B, B, and H. So this will be my lowercase b. I want the uppercase b to be parallel to it. And then the height, again, remember, doesn't have to be vertical. And in this case, it is not. And so let's go ahead and plug that in. And that will give us 1,616.75, which is in dollars. And that is the total cost of roasting the 290 pounds of coffee. All right, so let's quickly do one more, assuming the dogs will stay quiet. A note card company has found that the marginal cost per card of producing X note cards is given by the function below, where C prime of X is the marginal cost in cents per dollar. Find the total cost of producing 760 cards, disregarding any fixed costs. Okay, so this is just exactly the same thing that we've been doing. We know that X is our note cards. We're going to be looking at the 760. We know our starting point is going to be for 0 cards. So we'll plug that in first. And that will give us 77, resulting in the ordered pair 0, 77. Now, again, just like before, the 1,000 will throw some of you, so we're not really looking at that. We're looking at the 760. So we're going to plug that in for X. And we get 39, giving us an ordered pair where X is 760 and Y is 39. So again, this time our Y values are positive, so I'll draw my graph that way. We know at X being 0, our Y is going to be 77. And if our X is over here at 760, our Y is at 39. So again, just roughly drawing, we have a trapezoid again. I know that's a big surprise, so I'll write the formula for that. And our biggest problem then is to, in fact, label our variables. So this is my lowercase b, and I apologize for my writing, I'm rushing. And my uppercase B is 77. And my height is this 760. So plugging it in, we'll have this times the 760. Which gives us 44,080, and that's cents. Don't change it. Don't move decimal places. Don't try to change it to dollars. This formula is given to us in cents. So when our answer comes out in cents, that's the end. I hope you found this helpful.